All right, boys. Thanks for watching today's show. It's a fun show. We do quick preview for this week. Try to touch games, each game very quickly. Give the triple play. Talk Steelers, Jets, the Ravens, attack guy. Kind of touch base on there. Yeah. Like, subscribe. Like, subscribe. Appreciate it. All right, boys. We're gonna do a recap of Thursday night football. Broncos, Saints. What an absolute travesty for Drew Brees' Memorial Night. I think it's Memorial Night, right? What chaos. Saints have 75 guys on the IR. Feel terrible for him. I think I hate Spencer Rattler simply because of his symbol from college, the NIL deal. I hate it. I can't. Every time I see him, I get frustrated with him because of that. He just had bad PR. It's no fault of his own, but I can't look past it. That's my own grudge abilities. Gross game, 33-10. I think the score was kind of skewed, right? Like it I don't think the Broncos were great. It was just the Saints were so bad, and the Broncos, like Bo Nix, looked okay, not great, right? That makes the first 2 weeks the Saints beating the brakes off the Cowboys. Like, how bad are the Cowboys? And then how bad are the Steelers losing to the Cowboys, right? That kind of like starts like, how do you measure teams up? So, absolute waste of time. Starting games like this at 8 p.m. on the East Coast is a travesty against mankind. Games like this, they need to flex the games. It's gonna be a terrible game. Just shift it to 6 o'clock East Coast. No one in the West Coast cares if it starts late, and just get it done. Rapid reactions preview for this Sunday. Gonna start with just a horrible game. The cheating Patriots are playing the Jaguars. What an awful waste of time. 7:30 a.m. for Mountain Time. So 5:30 for East Coast. That's too early. In fact, that's too early for Hawaii. Like, why would you wake up for that horrible game? Doug Peterson win a Super Bowl is one of the wildest things ever to happen. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Shula couldn't win one with Dan Marino. That's just sometimes NFL is wild like that. What a travesty. Doug Peterson may get fired at halftime. He may not be allowed to come home. Um, what an absolute travesty this game is going to be. Seahawks, Falcons. Seahawks are overrated. They score a lot of points. People think they're great. They're not that great. Like, I watched them play and I'm like, ugh, gross. Falcons are trending upwards. Good. I think Falcons going to dominate here. I've always been a Kirk guy. Will always be a Kirk guy. Underappreciated in Washington. Um, shame, but Falcons going to win this game. Titans Bills. I think Mason Rudolph is starting this game, which will be exciting. Bills going to dominate. It's in New York. They got Amari Cooper, which should be good. I think that he'll extend the ability for Allen to throw deeper. So Bills are going to just absolutely hammer this game. If you're from New York and you're excited to see this game, simply because it's going to be an absolute beating. So, Bengals Browns. What an absolute travesty the Browns are. A terrible organization, and they're just quitting. And I love that they're just taking away Watson's targets, sending Cooper away. They think Chubb's going to save the day. It's not. It's just that it's going to be shove 9 dudes in the box, and you'll just stop him. And I don't think he's going to be coming off and going to be like great after that gross injury last year. So I'm thinking Bengals going to destroy. Joe Burrow has been pretty good this year. Like, the record's 2-4, not great, but he has been great. I think they probably should be 4-2, right? They probably should have a few more wins there. He's been great. And the Browns, their weakness is on defense. The Browns won't be able to do anything about it, right? So I'm thinking Bengals, Bengals, Bengals. It's just a fun watch. Fun watch to see the Browns get absolutely embarrassed by the Bengals. I'm thinking Joe 5-6 touchdowns here. Bengals, Bengals, Bengals. Texans, Packers. Oh boy. This is gonna be a tight game. I actually think the Packers are good and they're trending upwards. I don't think the Texans, we had that like struggled at the beginning, started to surge up last year, and everyone expected them to take that next step. And they haven't taken the next step. I just don't think that they're at where people think they would be at. So I'm thinking Packers are going to win this game. But it'll be a fun game because it'll be two good teams, but I think the Packers will be better. And Jordan Love is evolving that defense, that offense more. I think it's going to start clicking more here. Dolphins Colt, what an absolute waste of time. This is, if you have multiple TVs, you're a man, you have multiple TVs. This goes on the smallest TV. This goes on the iPhone, on the table, on the coffee table that you may watch. It's going to be a horrible game, right? Like Dolphins, their offense is wild. Colts going back to AR, which will be, uh, I think, a travesty, right? I think that the Colts were clicking with Joe Flacco. The problem is AR hasn't played a ton of games in college, hasn't played a ton of games in the pros. He needs reps. So you just kind of got to suck it up and like, hey, we're going to go, we're going to get 8 wins maybe with him, not make the playoffs, but it's more like a trending upward kind of situation. So don't watch this game unless you were from Miami or Indianapolis. Lions Vikings going to be an absolute monster game. This is main TV game. Lions, the initial gut when I saw this was like the total's 50. I'm thinking like they're going to score a ton of points. I'm thinking it's going to be way under that because I think the defense is going to be good. Hutchinson broke his leg last week. The defense is going to step up a little bit. And I don't think that the Lions are going to score a ton of points. I think they went crazy last week because they wanted to beat the Cowboys. I just think the Vikings are going to shut them down. So I'm thinking under here. Side note, Hutchins' leg break, gross. But seeing how tough Conor McGregor is, sitting down, broke his leg and just talking mad trash about a dude's wife the whole time is just crazy how thinking he same injury and he's just a psychopath yelling at it. So just I don't know, just came to my head. Hutchinson's injury gross. Maybe I'll show it. Maybe I won't. I'll decide later. Uh, Eagles Giants. Oh, I mean, this is a situation where this is just two gross teams again. This is another gross game. Like, no, not gonna be fun. Danny Dimes gonna dink and dunk to win. I don't think the Eagles would be great. They're getting healthy, which is good, but I don't know. Hurts has been okay, right? Not great. He has slid. 2 years ago, probably top three, two quarterback. I don't think he's probably top 10 right now, right? That's a wild thing to say. So I said it. Not a fun game to watch, but Eagles probably win. Actually, the Giants probably win. Raiders, Rams. Oh, gross, gross. This week is a gross week. There's some good matchups. College football is really good. I'm gonna preview that later, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm gonna preview or cap the games, recap all the games. But boy, this is a gross week. Rams are gonna win probably. Who cares? Like if you watch this game, you're from LA or Vegas. But other than that, or you're just watching football because you love football so much. But terrible game. Commanders Panthers. This is gonna be a fun game. Not fun because it's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna be like great, like back and forth. No, it's gonna be the Commanders beating the absolute brakes off the Panthers, right? Like Commanders defense not great, but Carolina's not gonna do diddly dick. And the Commanders are gonna score like 7 touchdowns. The Commanders might hit the over. The over is 51. Commanders uh might actually beat that themselves. It's gonna be a bloodbath, and I'm looking forward to it. Chiefs 49ers. This is a preview or excuse me, rematch in the Super Bowl. Honestly, the Chiefs have record is outperforming their performance, right? They should be maybe 2-3 or 3-2, but they're 5-0. They got really lucky. 49ers are going to give everything to this game. They want revenge, they want payback, right? I just think it's going to happen. But what my feeling is, Cal Shanahan is probably the greatest first half coach of all time, and probably the worst second half coach of all time. Like look at all the games they've played this year. Even like they're up 21 nothing and they lose the game. Like that's insane and happening, right? I'm taking you're like looking at the over because Kyle Shanahan's going to score probably 25 points, 28 points the first half, and then the defense is going to give up and they're going to play. I don't know if they're poor cardio. My man needs to get him working, doing some work or what, but they can't play a second half. He can't coach. I don't know what he does in halftime. Does he like give him sleeping pills? What does he do at halftime that all of his teams always stink? Like it's a show. So, all right, recap for week 9, 8, week 6, 7. Boys, triple play this week. Got 3 exciting games, high scoring games. High scoring games. Bengals versus the Browns. The worst team in American history, the Browns, are 5.5 dogs to the Bengals. That's an insult to Joe Burrow. Okay, he's going to destroy this team. Myles Garrett doesn't give an F about football anymore. He's all injured. He won his defensive player of the year. He shouldn't have won it, but he won it. He doesn't care anymore. He's done, right? Awful city, awful organization, awful, awful, awful. Are going to get killed by the Bengals by at least 2 touchdowns. Sometimes on those little apps you can adjust, right? You're gonna go like get extra points. Take it. Go 13 and a half, win bigly, gamble smartly. Don't actually bet everything. Just bet like what you can afford to lose. But yeah, Bengals gonna kill the Browns. I can't wait to watch that game. I don't love Cincinnati, but I hate them less. I hate them less than I hate Cleveland. So yeah. Panthers, Commanders. Commanders are 9.5 favorites. Panthers don't care. Why would they care? They don't care. Um, Bryce Bryce Young did a really good job at scout team pretending to be Jaden Daniels. So win for him. So anybody who's looking for a Jaden Daniels scout, send a trade offer. Send him a trade offer. Dave Tepper knows business. He knows what he can do. He can utilize that asset and get rid of it or sell him, right? He figure it out. But Jaden Daniels is going to put up points. He's going to put up at least 4 touchdowns, I'm thinking, this week. On the feet and throwing. Commanders are going to win big, like 21 points. Huge. Jaden Daniels is going to, he's sitting, look, here's the truth of it all. These AP writers and all that jazz, they don't know. They don't watch ball. They don't watch ball. They look at some stats, make their votes. Rookie of the Year, MVP is won with stats and fancy plays. Jaden Daniels building up fancy plays. He needs stats, right? He's gonna this. You take a team like this, you put up 5 touchdowns at the end of the year. They look at the total of your total points. Oh, look how great he is. Vote my vote, right? Josh Allen, not that great. Probably the other MVP. Jaden Daniels, he's falling up. He's my number 2 pick for MVP. Rookie of the year is probably locked up, right? So I'm thinking Commanders going to destroy the Panthers. Whew. Titans, Bills. Mason Rudolph, great, actually a good quarterback. I wish Steelers would have kept him, but here we are. I think Josh Daniels is ready to destroy. I think that they're actually crush the Titans, even though the Bills are 9.5 favorite or 9 favorites. I'm thinking the Bills are going to crush this team. It's going to be absolute bloodbath. Looking forward to watching this game. It'll be a fun game, but I just don't think the Titans care. Like when you're making a transition from quarterback, from your backup quarterback, from your young rookie quarterback who's struggling to your backup quarterback, things aren't going to go well. They're just not going to move forward. Second year, not the rookie. So they just don't care. You just kind of give up. Weeks are fading away. There's not be good. So think of Bills. Quick summary: Bengals 5.5. I'm eating it. Commanders 9.5. Bills 9. All favorites. I'm going with it, boys. All right, boys. Gonna highlight the Sunday night game. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New York Jets. Jets are all in. Like they need to win this game, or all bets are off. They kind of like shifted. They've done everything right. They got rid of their head coach. Got Devontae Adams. They've got like 4-5 wide receivers. Brees Hall is legit. So they're going to throw everything at this to win this game. Like this is going to be an all-in game. And I every this happens to me every year. I have beginning of the season, I have absolute faith in Tomlin. I go and watch clips online. I go and watch that interview he did with Ryan Clark, and I'm like, I love it. I will I will go to war for this man. I believe. 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm like, have the faith. And then he does some stupid crap, and I'm like, he might be the worst coach in the league. What is going on here? And then that happens, kind of continues to the end of the season up to like week 14. He he pulls a miracle off. They get 10 wins, and I'm like, I'm back in. He's the best coach. He's the number one coach. Love it. And I fall for this game every time. So I don't know where I'm at. I'm at the point where I'm like, he should get fired. Omar Khan should be fired. He's not a good evaluator of coaches. I think he's a good evaluator of players and not coaches. Like he doesn't um, he micromanages too much. I just don't have the faith in him. Um, so like part of me is like, oh, this is the type of game where he would step up, where the Jets are given everything. It's a primetime game. It's super important to the Jets. Russie's coming in. Um, so I would want to pick the Steelers here, but I'm at the Tomlin is a failure mode, and we got to get rid of him mode. So I might kind of go back and forth, but I do think Russ will provide some better options passing wise. However, he was sacked a ton in Denver, like a ton. And I think he was number one in the league for both years, which is not good, especially with the offensive line being just basically decimated. So I think he'll give, when he has time, he's going to provide better passes than Justin. However, he's not as mobile, bad offensive line. So there might be like a ton of sacks on this game, right? Like it's going to be, and the Jets have a decent defensive line. The only saving grace that could be is that the DC is the head coach now, and he's struggling doing both. He did it one time, and he was like, "Well, maybe you figure it out this week. We'll see, right?" But my gut feeling is Steelers. Maybe it's my heart. I don't know what it is. So I'm going Steelers going to win this game, but I'm really looking forward to see how it goes. I think it's going to kind of shift how things go, right? If the Jets win, their projections up. And if the Steelers win, I think their projections up. But whoever loses, basically, this is a must-win for both teams. If whoever loses, the trends goes down. You kind of like, if the Steelers lose, especially with the bad offense, good defense, bad offense, and the offense scores worse than 18 points, Tomlin could lose the room, right? He could get a lot of people angry about the situation. If the Jets lose with poor offense, and Rodgers has been hit a ton, and Highsmith might come back, there might be a real problem. Like both teams might just crumble internally. So that will be interesting to see going from there. So we'll see. Recapping the Ravens fan who got in an incident where he apparently ran around and just found random Commander fans, just punch him in the face. And the internet went after him. He was like some dude who um, was like some spoiled brat growing up and was kind of a jerk to everybody. This is the rumor. I'm not saying this. What I'm repeating what other people said. He's a piece of crap. Look, the city of Baltimore is known for being violent. They have bodies on record, right? Not good. I think every person who's lived in Baltimore has had a criminal record. I can't prove that, but that's my feeling. Right? They do bad things, and that's just who the city is. Um, and it's kind of like you can't get your pinstripes until you do a dime, right? Like you're not a true Baltimore person unless you spend a couple weeks in jail, right? For whatever. Um, and I hope that kid loses lots of years in jail. I hope that kid lose lots of money. I hope his dad, if this all is true, went down, then he should pay money for raising such a scumbag, right? Like if you're given a good life in America, you should just like continue it forward rather than being a piece of crap, run around, punch people in the face. It's gross. I hope that guy they find him, they arrest him, serves lots and lots
Thanks
of
for
years.
watching. Like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe.